I, Sushma, Sergeant at Arms, welcome you all to the meeting number of 640th Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, Bangalore. I wish you all happy Men's Day. On Men's Day, I would like to share one thing. Generally, people say every man's success, there is a woman behind. But today, I would proudly say for my success, my father and my husband were the pillars. To reach greater heights, we all must have a clear mission. Likewise, Toastmasters' mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. We follow few guidelines in all our meetings. Please do not talk about sex, religion, and politics which would offend others. If you are not a speaker, keep your microphone muted at all times. For better experience, keep your video on at all times unless you are moving in and out of the room. As an encouragement to all our role takers and speakers, make sure upload them virtually. Now it's time to introduce our club president, a triple crown winner and immediate past VP education and past VP membership. Current president and treasurer of the club, a dedicated Toastmaster who loves to help his fellow Toastmasters and very encouraging to buddy Toastmasters. Fitness enthusiast and his hobbies include cyclist, swimmer, love reading books in his free time, following his passion for stock market by spending some of his time regularly. Professionally, when it comes to profession, currently is working as a senior business manager for an IT company, that is teleservice company. Please join me welcoming our club president Toastmaster Mayur. Over to Toastmaster Mayur.
Thank you so much, Sushma, for your wonderful introductions. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster, and I open meeting number 640. I hope everyone is doing great. Many greetings to all of you, all the men out here in the meeting for happy and wish you all happy International Men's Day. And today is also, we are also celebrating No Shave November month as well. I know many of you are not, even me not increasing my beard and all these things. So do you know why we celebrate? Why do we have a No Shave November? Does anyone know? Okay, so I'll tell you. The No Shave. No,
cost
Joseph,
of shaving is more also.
Okay, so No Shave November is a month-long journey in which all the participants forego shaving and grooming in order to evoke conversations and raise cancer awareness. The concept or goal of No Shave November is to grow awareness by embracing your hair with many cancer patient lose and letting grow wild and free, and donate that money you generate typically and which you spend on shaving and all this grooming stuff to educate and people and prevent cancer and save lives and aid those fighting the battle, those who are fighting the battle. Now I would like to invite our joke master for today, who will deliver few jokes for us and entertain us. DTM Milind, over to you.
My dazzling club president, my sparkling guest, by scintillating Toastmasters. Long time ago, more than 117 years ago, Ralph Chestnut Smedley, a young man of 26 years, working as a director of education at the YMCA, saw a need for men in the community to learn how to speak, how to conduct meetings, how to plan programs, and how to work on communities. He wanted to help people learn the art of speaking, learn the art of listening, learn the art of thinking, and gain personal growth through communication and leaders training. Speak and be spoken about. Hence, he made sure the first unofficial meeting was held on March 24, 1905. He named the group the Toastmasters Club. Toastmasters was a popular term that referred to a person who gave toast at banquets and other occasions. Much like Toastmasters meeting of today, the participants took turn leading and speaking at each meeting. At these meetings, accomplished and experienced speakers evaluated speeches, while the new speakers were invited and encouraged to join in the evaluation. However, as destiny would have it, Ralph Chestnut Smedley was offered different positions at other YMCAs in Illinois and later in San Jose, California. He could not devote time to the clubs, and hence the fledgling clubs lacked leadership. It did not flourish. It took over almost 19 years for Ralph Chestnut Smedley to form a Toastmasters club. Young Men Christian Association building in Santa Ana, California on October 22nd, 1924. Since then, like a banyan tree, Toastmasters grew up in size and shape and spread its branches across 149 countries, over 15,800 clubs, and over 3 lakh members. My dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, Toastmasters help you to break your barrier, not your budget. Speak and be spoken about.
Milind sir.
Kudos to each one of you, especially the guest and the Toastmasters who took the trouble to join Toastmasters session today. I'm confident
Milind sir, sorry
each
to
one of
interrupt you.
are destined to be a better listener, better communicator, better human being, and a better leader. Toastmasters tagline is, where lead, speak and be spoken about. Normally, every Toastmasters meeting, there are 3 basic parts: prepared speeches, table topic, and evaluation. In the part 1 of the prepared speeches, several Toastmasters will give a prepared speech. Speeches are usually designed to meet the requirement of one of the projects from one of the 11 paths opted by the speaker from the Pathways module. A Toastmaster is free to choose any of those 11 paths, namely effective coaching, effective engaging humor, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategy, emotional intelligence, and team building, persuasive influence, strategic relationship, team collaboration, visionary communication, presentation mastery, dynamic leadership. Every Toastmaster is assigned to a dedicated mentor at the club, and every speech is evaluated by a dedicated speech evaluator. The mentor and speech evaluator encourages Toastmaster to speak and to be spoken about. Part 2, table topic, is an extempore speaking exercise where the speaker speaks off the cuff. That is, the speaker responds to the topic that is not known beforehand. The table topic master presents the topic, calls on an individual, and then that individual has 1 to 2 minutes to respond. Part 3, the evaluation session, is where constructive feedback is provided to role takers at the meeting, and the speaker speaks based on the guidelines. There are 3 parts. These 3 parts can be compared to a game of cricket. Part 1, prepared speech, is something like a test match in a cricket. Part 2, rapid fire session, table topic session, is like 2020 of cricket. Part 3, evaluation session, is like post-match review session. The evaluation session is headed by a general evaluator. It comprises reports by individual evaluators, listener, grammarian, timer, and R counter. It is my honor to present to you the general evaluator of the day. The general evaluator is always on the fast lane. During his 30-year stay in Saudi Arabia, as the head of civil engineering projects, he would drive his official car, Land Cruiser, at 120 to 160 kilometers on highways and 100 kilometers on city roads. And his personal cars, Toyota Corolla, Sunny Mazda Cruise, and finally Toyota Runner, he drove at the speed of 120 kilometers. And after joining Toastmasters in late 2019, he continued his fast track by completing 15 projects in his first pathway, innovative planning. And now he's focusing on second part, dynamic leadership. In addition, he's an active member and a past club officer of our club, Speech Weavers. He's also a club secretary of Passion Advanced Toastmasters Club in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. He's a Triple Crown winner. Please join me in welcoming the General Evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Joseph Benedict.
Thank you, Toastmaster DTM Milind for this kind introduction of yours. I wish all the International Men's Day for all the distinguished guests and Toastmasters. My role will be to evaluate starting from the Sergeant at Arms until the last session of the meeting. It's not only me, I would be joined by some of our colleagues, Toastmasters, who will be taking each role and they will be reporting to us in the final stage of the meeting. I would call upon Toastmaster Surraj to give his role on timer. Over to you, Toastmaster Surraj. Toastmaster Surraj, are you available there?
Yeah, yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. You can give your role, responsibility of a timer role.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Suraj, and I am taking up the role of a timer today. Thank you.
You have to explain the prepared speech timing as well as Toastmaster.
Okay. So, yeah. So today this is my first opportunity. Just do the script today. Greetings, respected Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Joseph Benedict.
Joseph
Anyhow,
Benedict.
there is always some allowances given for the speakers as well as the table topic. There will be 20 seconds where you have to wrap up the completion of your speech. I will call upon now the R counter Toastmaster Aakash. Toastmaster Aakash, kindly explain your role on R counter. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator. The filler sounds like and the crutch words like, so, but, and. All these words actually impedes the effectiveness of our speeches. As the R counter today, I'll listen to each speakers and make note of such filler words and crutch words and report back at the end of the meeting. Back to you, General Evaluator. Was my audio clear?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you, Aakash.
Okay. Was my explanation?
I think Joseph sir, are you there?
Aakash has
Request
not
all the other
completed his speech.
members and guests to kindly mute themselves if they are not speaking.
Is Aakash finished, I suppose?
Yeah, I'm done actually.
Okay. Now I would like Toastmaster Mayur to explain his role as a grammarian. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayur.
Thank you so much, Joseph sir, for inviting me. Good evening once again, all the fellow Toastmaster and guests. So as a grammarian of the day, I will be noticing all the tidbits of the meeting from the start till the end, and I will be noting down all the good and bad uses of language. And I will be giving my report when I call upon at the end of the General Evaluator for the report. So today word of the day is profuse, which means very plentiful, abundant, exhibiting great abundance as well. And the uses include space. Thank you so much. And
I would like to call upon Toastmaster Santhi for the role on listening. Over to you, Toastmaster Santhi.
Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, being a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. As a listener of the day, I will note interesting tidbits of information from any of the speakers and ask questions near the end of the meeting to see if everyone was paying enough attention to it. I will also be formulating questions and ask them during the listener's report when called upon by the General Evaluator. Back to you, TM Joseph.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shanti, for your detailed explanation. Now I will hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Milind. Over to you.
Thank you, General
Toastmaster Milind.
Evaluator, Toastmasters, Joseph. All the three parts of every meeting has a specific objective, specific purpose, and specific time. As the Toastmaster founder, Ralph Chestnut Smedley said, whatever your grade or position, if you know how and when to speak and when to remain silent, your chances of real success are proportionately increased. Every Toastmaster meeting is an entertaining, energizing, and enjoyable journey. And hence, Ralph C. Smedley said, to quote him, we learn best in moments of enjoyment. With all these three parts, act as a net practice to galvanize every Toastmaster to be a better listener, better speaker, and better leader. And that's reason, to quote Ralph C. Smedley, communication leads to discovery of hidden abilities, broaden person's conception of how to live with people. It brings out for us the leadership traits and abilities, and thus help to prepare the individual to be a better leader. Now today, our evaluator for speaker number 1, Vinit, has not yet joined.
Yeah, he has joined.
I'm
He has
there.
joined. Oh, great, fine. Then we can continue. Oh, I can't. Good. Thank you. So talking about leaders, I'm going to welcome you, the evaluator for this first speech. Transforms human beings as he's a life coach by profession. So please join me in welcoming the evaluator for the first speaker, Toastmaster Vinit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster DTM Milind and Toastmaster of the day. So the purpose for today's speech, which Rahul is going to deliver, is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humor. So I'm sure we are going to have a very amazing time now. And the speech length is, for the timer, is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Rahul. All the best for the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinit. Now the speaker for the day is a third generation entrepreneur by profession, a motivational speaker and a life coach by passion. He began his Toastmasters journey in 2019 and is currently pursuing his second path. He is currently the Vice President membership of Hyderabad Toastmasters Club in District 98. In addition to that, he is contesting tomorrow for the Humorous contest, and he will be presenting his speech on pathways relating to his project called Know Your Sense of Humor. And his speech title is Pause. And I request all of you in the audience to give their inputs to Rahul in a personal chat box to him. so that he can improve his skills tomorrow and can represent his division or his division to the district contest. So please join me in welcoming the speaker number 1, Toastmaster Rahul Jain. Title, pause. Title, pause. Toastmaster Rahul Jain.
Zoom Master, may I request to spotlight the timer as well? I'm not able to pin the timer. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I can see the change of cards, green.
Yeah, Rahul, what we will do is at 5, 6, 7, we will spotlight Suraj, not the whole speech. Not
No issues. Yeah, no issues. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Timer, good to go?
Yes.
So it's 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. It is said, a pause is a silence full of potential. Whose potential though? I don't know. Some pauses make you wonder, and some wonder what not. Raise your hand if you have heard of short pause, long pause, and the pregnant pause. Good. I'm not here to talk about that. Let me share with you how I learned the importance of where to pause from a curious friend of mine. Curious? That friend who's always interested more about your life than his own. Contest share, Toastmasters, and guess. Have you fallen in love at first sight? I have 8 times in a single day. Junior's freshers party, and there we had. What followed were 8 days, 8 dates, and what was left was me, yet single. And there entered my friend, the curious, who was wondering, why did Lady Luck not bite me yet? And there he asked me to narrate what exactly happened on those 8 dates that I was on. On the date were introverts or the silent kind. Because all through the date, I had so much to share about my life, my moments, and how I have grown up in life. And the only thing that I remember they speaking was, but should, okay, all my friend had to say was, Rahul, pause. People enter into a conversation in the pauses that you give. A date is a dialogue, not a monologue. Being a quick learner, I started to pause. Pause here, there, and everywhere. In our friends' WhatsApp group, I said, I lost a friend. Before I could add, in a shopping mall, there were 50 rest in peace messages and even an obituary written for him. So much so the tragedy was that every morning when I had to wake up and think of a leave, I used to type, good morning, boss. Before I could type further, the boss had a message, there is no leave going to be approved for today. But the real tragedy occurred when, on my parents' 25th anniversary, I took stage and announced the best years of my life were spent in the arms of a woman who was not my mother, not my wife. Before I could add to it that it was my mother, I was in the hospital, lying on the bed, after being spanked by my wife, by my mother, and the ultimate law in every husband's life, the in-laws. And guess who was by my side when I was in the hospital bed? And all he had to share was, Rahul, pause, but at the right places. A wrong pause is not only dangerous, it could become fatal, like you have. I learned the importance of pausing at the right places. Being a quick learner, I started to pause at the right place until a day when I called my wife Preeti. I called my wife Preeti. My wife's name is Pragya. But the tragedy was not this. What followed in that moment of the heat was my wife asking me, do you still love me? I paused just for 3.46 seconds before I responded a yes. And there was a pause, a dead pause. And you can imagine what followed after that. Forever since I started to call my wife Preeti, I mean to say Pragya, with the word darling, Shona, Babu. Just a minute. Do you hear those words too? Be sure why you're called anything but your name. There he entered again, my friend, and he mentioned, Rahul, pause, but be sure any moment of silence before or after you speak gives a potential message more important than what the words that you say. And that's how, over a period, I learned my lessons. I learned my lessons as I progressed. I realized whosoever said words are powerful, they can make you, they can break you, did not attend the class when pause was taught. I've learned my lessons about the need to pause, the need to pause at the right place, and to know what my pause could mean. Have you? Or do you need a friend like mine who can tell you, Rahul, pause? Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul, for this humorous speech which you gave. And we need to now start learning how to communicate with our spouse. That's the most important thing, especially after 2 decades of marriage. That becomes a bigger challenge by every passing day. So let's give a lot of applause to Toastmaster Rahul. Now we come to the second speech. So before I invite the second speaker, may I invite the evaluator for the second speech, who is Toastmaster Vinit. Toastmaster Nithin. Toastmaster Nithin, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Today, my target speaker is going to present level 1 project 2 and speech is titled, If You Cannot Win, Then Persist. He is from the Pathway Leadership Development. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nithin. Now, the speaker for the day is the outstanding Toastmaster of our Speech Weavers Club of September. He's currently the Vice President membership. So please join me in welcoming the speaker number 2, Toastmaster Adarsh. Toastmaster Adarsh.
Hey, have you ever been told that there's nothing better than winning? You know, winning is anything that separates a person that finishes first from a person that finishes second. The difference can be as small as 1 vote in an election, or it can be as little as the distance that separates us. By the way, I think we're only separated by 0 kilometers. Anyway, back to winning again. So what is winning exactly? Again, as I said, winning is anything that separates a person that finishes first from a person that finishes second. And if you lose, it's inevitable that you find yourself in the shadow of the winner. And that's not fun when you think about it. Because just imagine having to run extremely hard in a marathon, wanting to finish second and not be acknowledged by anybody around you. But unfortunately, that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that most people don't even make it past the stage. Hello and greetings to all Toastmasters and guests. I'm Adarsh, and I'm going to be sharing one of the most valuable experiences of my life. And this can be best described with a quote from the great American author of Mandino. And it goes, if I persist long enough, I'll win. Now, I see a lot of people in this room right now. I see around 19 people in this room. So I have a question to ask you. Have any of you ever been told that you're not as good as someone? If you don't get it, then I'm probably going to point at Toastmaster Santhi. Toastmaster Santhi, what if I told you that you'll never ever be as good as distinguished Toastmaster Milind? What if I told you that you'll never ever be as good as distinguished Toastmaster Milind? Now, how does that make you feel? You know what? You don't have to respond because I know what it makes you feel. I know that it makes you feel very bad. If it makes you feel very bad, then you should know that I'm on the same train as you. Because as a child, I remember I had to spend twice as much time to solve a math problem that even an average person in class could solve in a matter of seconds. This meant that I had to face the wrath of my teachers at every given moment. It also meant that I had to face the wrath of my own parents. And it also meant that I had to see that egoistic smirk on faces of my friends who'd wave goodbye at me before they went back home. And that smirk used to always put me off. And that's exactly when I'd imagine everything like it had a foot race in my head. The foot race was exasperating. It was beyond tiresome. I was just not able to deal with it. I'd always be at the last. I was just not able to go ahead of my friends. And that's exactly when the teacher would walk into the class and go, Adarsh, why can't you just be like your friends? Do you see friends over there? Do you see them there? They got A's in their math exams. What did you get? And I remember that being a long and uncomfortable pause after this. The silence was just deafening. The silence was just killing me. And very soon I'd just go back to visualize the foot race again. But before any of you in this room judge me, before the 19 people in this room can judge me, I have to tell you that there is something about the foot race that I never told you about. I never stopped running. Yes, I was very slow. I was super slow. I used to swing my arms slower than that of a tortoise, but I never stopped running. Now, did this reward me in the short term? Probably not. But did it reward me in the long term? Absolutely. In the short term, I remember having to work tirelessly and still underachieve in my exams. There was a time where a teacher walked up to me and told me that I wouldn't even make it past 10th grade. And today I've made it far enough to prove, I've come far enough in my life to make my teachers feel that not only were they wrong, but they were just too wrong. After working and studying tirelessly, I was able to set up a new organization with my mother, who's a financial advisor. We worked tirelessly and we set up an organization ourselves. And today, yes, I'm juvenile. I'm very young and I get judged for it every day of my life. I get told that I'm not ready for this. But it has never stopped me because I've always felt that if you know what you're doing, you should just keep going. I remember back when I was a child, my friend came up to me and told me, Adarsh, if you know what you're doing, then just don't let other people judge you because all that matters is that you have their attention. And today, when I look back, I feel that it couldn't be more true because think about it for a second. There are about 19 people in this room right now, and I'm sure all of us here are here for one thing, and that is attention. We want attention more than anything else. Getting attention is the most difficult thing one can imagine. And today I have attention. I have the attention I need. So the most that I can do now is make use of it. And today, when I look back, when I look behind my shoulder, I see a lot of people behind me. And it's not me trying to be arrogant, it's just me trying to tell that I've proven a lot of people wrong. On a closing note, I would like to tell there's no form of competition out there that is more intense and more difficult to deal with than that of a competition from an individual that never ceases to persist. And to best describe this, I remember back when I was a child, I used to race my brother every time, be it to the nearby grocery store or the medical shop or any place you can possibly imagine. I used to race him pretty much all the time, but there was one thing that each race shared in common, and that was my brother's long and huge body and his massive legs and his long stride. And then there was me, the skinny little me with that tiny body and legs that resembled that of an ant and arms that resembled that of a huge dinosaur. I was just too small. And I was just way too slow to beat my brother. And within the first few seconds of each race, I'd find myself far behind my brother. But I kept running. I put my head down and I kept running the entire time. And very soon my brother would look back and go, Adarsh, do you even have a pair of legs? I remember feeling very insulted at that time, but I kept running anyway. I kept my head down, I kept running. And very soon I looked up and I saw my brother and he was slowing down. He was slowing down, there was sweat dripping from every part of his body, and he just couldn't handle it anymore. And there came a time where he bent down and his arms were rested on his knees and he went, I can't do it anymore. It was at that time when I realized that I had an opportunity. I kept running because I couldn't run faster than what I already was. And very soon I went past him to his bemusement, and I haven't looked back ever since. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Adarsh, for a fantastic speech titled, If You Cannot Win, Then Persist. That was a lesson for us, a life lesson for each one of us. Thank you for that. So please give a lot of applause to Toastmaster Adarsh. Now, before I come to the speaker number 3, may I invite the evaluator for the third speaker, Toastmaster Anita Rao. Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Milind. It has taken profuse dedication for the speaker to come this far, because the speaker is going to give level 2 project 3. The objectives of the speech are that the Toastmaster will define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring and also share her experience as a protégé in the past in her journey as a Toastmaster. Thank you so much, DTM Milind. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anita, for joining us today and also taking a role over here. So kudos to you. Now it's time for me to introduce the speaker number 3. She's a very active member of our own club. She's officially the Sergeant of Arms, whom you had already met. Besides that, she also keeps on hopping to different other clubs, taking multiple roles, whether it's timer, whether it's in our counter, and whatever she does with aplomb. And besides that, she's a fantastic cook, and she doesn't want to keep her top secret with her. She keeps on sharing it on her YouTube channel, and she also focuses on health food, healthy products, healthy habits, especially in this Corona time. Her YouTube channel on health aspect is fantastic. So please join me in welcoming the speaker number 3, Toastmaster Sushma, title Experience a Protégé. Experience a Protégé. Toastmaster Sushma.
We all here on this Toastmasters platform to become proficient leaders and confident speakers. I strongly believe an inspirational quote given by Ratan Tata: if you want to walk fast, you walk alone. If you want to walk far, you walk together. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. and most welcome guest. I'm here to share few potential objectives with all of you. In order to achieve success, mentorship plays a significant role. For that, understanding and building a successful relationship between mentor and mentee is the key. I would like to share my views how I built successful relationship with multiple mentors, and be it in Toastmasters or be it in my life journey. When it comes to successful relationship building between a mentor and me, we need to understand one few objectives. When it comes to mentor should not be a decision maker or influencer. He should give importance to mentees' values as well, rather imparting knowledge and experience would be giving guidance. In simple terms, in my view, mentor should be playing three types of roles: confident, supporter, and as a guide. When mentor is overloaded with many mentees, he would not be able to spend quality time in directing mentees towards success. At the same time, one more important thing is open-minded. He should be able to listen to mentees' inputs, feedback. At the same time, mentee also should be able to take suggestions. And one more important thing is mentor, when he can relate guidance with real examples, it resonates in mentee's mind very effectively so that he can implement. Mentor should be able to identify strengths and weaknesses of mentees so he can guide in an appropriate way towards the success. When it comes to mentee also, though the mentee role is less varied, yet he plays an integral part in building the relationship. Mentee should focus on building good relation with mentor and gaining confidence and trust. He should be very, very clear with regards to asking queries, concerns, and taking the feedback from the mentor. Gaining the trust is very important between mentor and mentee. After taking the suggestions, mentee should quickly show the action on recommendations and suggestions given by the mentor. Respecting mentor's time. Their time is very precious for both of them. He cannot expect all the time to take mentor's help. So, should utilize the time in an effective way. This is my views about building successful relationship between mentor and mentee. I would like to connect my personal experience as a mentee with my mentor in the journey of Toastmasters. When I joined as a guest Toastmasters meeting, after I have seen the meeting, some perception I had developed in my mind about speakers, potential, and various aspects. One speaker I was greatly admired, who was decked up and had great communication skills while delivering. I could not see any kind of crutch words or anything. After I became member, I was told I would be assigned mentorship, and I have expressed my wish as a mentee under his mentorship. It was very great. I would say I'm very thankful to Milind sir as a mentor during the initial stage of my journey as a Toastmaster. He not only helped me in crafting speech, but whenever I text message, sir, I want to play this role, and he would immediately share different scripts, whether it is a counter role, timer role, and give me valuable suggestions about how to go about the speech and what are the things needs to be incorporated in order to be effective speaker. Guided me how to give speeches in different clubs, how best I can become a good speaker. My mentor is most of the time is very busy, that I can understand. Time is very precious. I respected his time, but yet time was never constrained to me. I was given freedom to approach my fellow Toastmasters, whom I considered as mentors. So I would say greatly, I had multiple mentors. Among my fellow Toastmasters, I have seen those who are equally good when it comes to experience and imparting the knowledge to fellow Toastmasters, be it Deepa or Vandana, Joseph sir, and Mayur. I'm thankful to all these mentors. I would say, whenever I wanted help, they all were there. I was very insecure and low confident to give my speech or to take any role. But Mayur was very encouraging and very motivating. He always he was there for me. He would push me. He said he wouldn't listen my excuses. He just would say, "You can do it. You can do." With that confidence, I have taken up the role and I continued my journey. I started enjoying my journey. I would conclude on this note that building efficient and successful relationship between mentee and mentor is the key for to enjoy the result. Over to.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sushma, for sharing your experience as a protege. Let's give a lot of applause to, let's applaud profusely to Toastmaster Sushma. With this, we complete part 1 of our meeting. That was test match in cricketing parlance. Now it's 2020. So for that, the man for the 2020, the conductor of that session, is our outstanding Toastmaster for the month of October. So please join me in welcoming profusely Toastmaster Bidhu Das as the table topic master.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I am excited to host all of you into this most interesting segment of Toastmasters meetings, the table topics. And I'm looking forward to your profuse participation because the intended use of this section is to encourage the speakers to develop the ability to organize their thoughts and respond to impromptu speeches. I have prepared a few topics. Few will be quirky, few will be completely hypothetical, and a few which would require a little bit of thought. Since this presents an opportunity to try public speaking, I encourage maximum participation from today's wonderful guests. I request the guests and incumbent Toastmasters to show a raise of hands so that I can see and invite them. Also, I encourage the speakers to keep their video on while speaking, since I would like to know the person. I would like to know the person who is giving the speech. For the benefit of speaker and the timer, I want to notify the speaker timings are 1 to 2 minutes. So let's deep dive into the session. And so let me see who have raised a hand. So I had got a request from Munish Gupta, and I would invite him first. And the topic for him, Munish, is, since today we are celebrating International Men's Day, who is your favorite man in your life? I repeat, who is your favorite man in your life? It can be anyone from your real life or a celebrity or even an imaginary one if you have one.
Good evening, everybody. who is my favorite man in my life, I will say Barack Obama. The reason why I love him, because I'm raised in an impoverished area, so I lack communication skill. So I always have a fear of delivering speech. Whenever I listen to him, I'm very much impressed. I live in a town where we didn't have Toastmaster Club also. Long ago, I came to know that Toastmaster Club, we can learn how to deliver speeches. I tried. When this pandemic broke out, Toastmaster went online, so I joined Toastmaster. I got an opportunity to speak. Still, many times I have inhibition to speak. It's not that I am a leader, I have to deliver speech every time, but once in a year, if I have to deliver a speech, I feel embarrassed. That time, I can think that it's an insult to me. Why I'm not able to speak? And when Barack Obama won the election, I heard from many people, they said that he won. The reason is because of his communication skill. It plays a very important role that no school, no college, no university, anywhere in the world teaches, which is the most important thing in life to grow. So that we have to learn, we need that environment which we do not get. This COVID-19 is a nuisance, but I can say for a person like me, who's from a small town, it's a blessing in disguise for me. The Toastmaster went online. You live in Bangalore, I live in a small town. I got an opportunity to rub shoulders and learn something from you. That's the reason I love Barack Obama. Sometime I find some people, they speak better than Barack Obama also. When I hear their speeches, even Barack Obama, when he speaks that time, I didn't know. Even he uses a lot of filler words, which I learned from Toastmaster, that while speaking, we should not use filler word. When I was a child, I remember, I used to hear people saying, you know. I thought it's a style to say, you know. But no, I have come to know that we should not use the word you know. It's because of Toastmaster. The renowned actor who's no more, Vinod Khanna, I heard his speech. He told, you know, multiple times. I was impressed. I thought I should add on this word in my life. I asked from somebody, and they said, when they think that time they use, but now I have come to know this is wrong. But that's the reason I love Barack Obama, because of his communication skill. Over to the Toastmaster, please.
Thank you, Manish. I think most of us in this meeting would have Barack Obama as their favorite orator. Interestingly, I was reading the book Becoming from Michelle Obama, and Michelle Obama herself was impressed by Barack Obama's oratory skills when they were dating. So from you, I would like to move on to our next person who has raised a hand. It's Toastmaster Santhi. Toastmaster Santhi, the topic for you is, if you woke up one day and realized you switched to an opposite gender, what would your first reaction be? I repeat, if you woke up one day and realized you switched to the opposite gender, what would your first reaction be?
Thank you, Bidhu. Toastmasters Bidhu. It's a wonderful question. I woke up one day and I realized that I became as a man. My first thing will be that, I feel happy because I feel I'm missing something as being a woman, and as a man I can go to anywhere in the night, and I can be a confident driver, because I think there are some senses works better for men. It's kind of a blockage for me. I have that thought process. And there are many things which I feel men are having upper hand. It could be something I can try out, And yeah, definitely living as a man will be a good thing, I feel.
Eating.
Yeah, thanks for that, Bidhu. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Shanti. So there was a movie, popular English movie named What Women Want, in which Mel Gibson turns into a woman, at least in his thoughts. So I don't know whether if there's a movie which is featuring a woman transferring into a man, how would it turn out to be? So moving on, let me see if there is anyone interested. I would request speakers, guest speakers, to please come forward and raise your hand. I can see guest Aakash joining in. Aakash, would you be interested to take up a topic? Okay, we have Kendall. Kendall, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Morning.
Hi, Kendall. So the topic that I give to you is, if animals could speak, which animal do you think will complain the most about humankind? I repeat, if animals could speak, which animal do you think will complain the most about humankind?
Okay, thank you very much for the question, Topics Master. If animals could speak, many animals would complain of mankind's viciousness and, I would say, ill-tempered manner of treating them. I would like to zero in on domesticated animals, because in Trinidad, where I live, domesticated animals are not treated well. So much as that the government has introduced laws recently to protect animals, and they have included hefty fines as such. You would find a lot of strays, dogs, cats, and you would find people hitting dogs. If the law requires that you have insurance for dogs, people would now release their pit bulls and the dangerous dogs. They would release them on the streets because they don't want to have to pay this money. Also, you'd find that recently I saw a video where some 2 or 3 guys in Trinidad, they hanged a dog, and it went viral in Trinidad, and the police are now trying to get to the source of it. So when it comes to treating animals, especially in Trinidad where I live, I would say that dogs are the worst end. Dogs and cats are the worst end of receiving these ill-treated measures by humans. So that's my response to your question. Thank you very much. It's back to you, Topics Master.
Thank you, Kendall. Wonderfully delivered with a lot of empathy towards animals. Now I can see one person who has joined us, and she is the old member of Speech Viewers, and I would like to request Vandana to please come forward and take this topic. And the topic for you is, what would you rather? Be born in a different country or be born in a different period of history? I repeat, what would you rather? Be born in a different country or be born in a different period of history?
Born in the country I was born in, or if I was born in the future. So always we are complaining about it. But when I think about my life, the way I grew up, I don't think, yes, we'll always have complaints, but whichever period you choose, whichever country you choose, there's always going to be things that you will have to complain about. There'll be always things you feel, oh, I wish it were like this. So I would choose India today, tomorrow, and always. And I would definitely choose to be born in 1984, the year I was born, because I was lucky to have been born in a time where technology had not corrupted us, where we actually went out, ran and played, where we did have televisions, but we had limited time, and there was still a world that existed beyond a tiny little screen that ruled our lives the way it does now. Yes, it's great. Because of the screen, because of social media, I'm able to reach out to so many of my friends. I'm able to connect to people all over the world. I'm able to attend a Toastmasters meeting sitting here in Kerala of a club that is based in Bangalore. I was able to compete. I was able to contribute. I was able to be a part of this large community called Toastmasters, which helped me grow. I was able to work from home. But there was a time where these screens did not rule our lives. And the things I did added value and made me the person I am today. So let's all rethink about the things that went well when we were growing up. Think about, why do you want to be born in a different time? How things would have been different. If I were born in a different country, I don't think I would have had so much of freedom in terms of if I were born in the country that I grew up in. I grew up in the Middle East, and there we are not citizens. So there were a lot of things that were restricted for us. There were so many things that if you lived there and you made a mistake or you broke the law, you could probably go into jail. But I feel that I'm more freer here in India. So I chose to come back here to live a life here. So Bidhu, don't ask me to choose. I think I can live with my choices and I'm happy about it. And it's time for all of us to make a difference in the small ways that we can, so we can live better lives. Then think about what it could have been. Over to you, Bidhu.
Thank you, Vandana. Wonderfully delivered. I like how you mentioned that you like to be present in this moment. It is in line with Ikigai, thinking about here and now. And if you ask me, I also want to be present here, but for very different reasons. I don't want to go back because I'm too attached to technology, and I don't want to go forward because I know technology is going to defeat humans. So I just want to stay here at this moment peacefully, coexisting with technology. So with this, I'd like to conclude the Toastmaster table topic session and invite back our Toastmasters of the day. And thank you for all the participants who gave their best in this impromptu speech session. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, table topic master, Toastmaster Bidhu. You were outstanding as usual. The topic selection and the way you encouraged them, and what I liked the most was after giving your everyone the opportunity, you also gave your tidbits. That was fantastically done. So kudos to the table topic master, Toastmaster Bidhu. Now we come to the part 3 of our meeting. That is the post-match session or the feedback section. As they say, feedback is the breakfast for champion, which will be conducted by our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Joseph. Toastmaster Joseph, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Milind. Now I would call upon the evaluator for Vinit. Over to you, Toastmaster Vinit.
Thank you, General Evaluator Joseph, sir. Pause is as important as words. I learned it today, Toastmaster Rahul. Hello, Toastmasters guest, and hello to Toastmaster Rahul in particular. I never knew pauses could make this kind of impact, particularly in the effective coaching pathway. The speech started with a pause, and that itself left a profuse mark on me. And I'm sure other friends sitting here also witnessed that. Let me congratulate you on executing your level 3 effective project from effective coaching pathway successfully. Your speech had such a powerful message about leveraging pauses in the speeches. I'm myself not using pauses at the right time and not even giving that much of importance. But today, your speech actually made such an impact. And to pass such a strong message with so much of humor itself makes the message exponentially so stronger. I think you really excelled at the clarity of language, vocal variety was there to witness from start when you were making dialogues, when you were taking the pauses, eye contact, gestures were so impactful. When you talked about dead pause and so many other pauses you were talking about at so many other places. I found that you were so comfortable with humor. When you talked about Preeti, Pragya, ultimate laws for husband is in-laws. Toastmaster Rahul, I was so engrossed in your speech. To be honest, it was a bit hard for me to find improvement areas. But one thing that comes to me when I think over it is that, and that you might want to work on, a bit more engagement with the audience. I think if you can add a bit more engagement with the audience will feel connected till the end. And for me, it will become even more powerful. You asked the question, one question initially, and try to engage, but doing it more, I think it will keep the audience even more engaged. Out and out, congratulations on a job well done. If you can use a bit of more audience engagement, I think for me it will be even more impactful. I want to highlight, put that terms and conditions that these are all my personal views as an evaluator. Please get in touch with your mentor and get your speech and even my evaluation reviewed with them. And all the best, and wish you all the best with the speech competition that you have tomorrow, Rahul. With that, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Vinit, for your detailed analysis on his evaluation. I would humbly add one small point for him to overcome. You are coming to the camera very often, close to the camera very often, that may in fact make an impact on audience. So that can be avoided. Now coming to the second speaker, TMOD's evaluation, Toastmaster Nithin. Over to you, Toastmaster Nithin.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So today we have witnessed a very profuse speech that is given by my target speaker, Toastmaster Adarsh. He delivered it in a very interesting way. I have to say you ran very slowly and even paced up in middle. I saw a little paced up. While you are in the core concept, you were very clear and crisp, but when you are into the topic, you paced it up. It was a little bit tough to catch you up. The words were very fast, coming out very fast. And your video was very nice that you placed it in a correct position, and it was all very good for every person to be seeing. And the hand gestures and hand movements were very clear. You had many kind of hand gestures, and those are in the right place and at required places. And your intonations, I meant your ups and downs in your speech were very nice, and you were totally in the concept in the complete speech. And it is appreciable that you used all the time, but it is recommended that you can rehearse and give the speech so that you can complete it in time and you can complete all the topics that you want to tell. The only issue I saw that was you were pacing a little bit while you are giving your speech, and you should be a little louder so that it will be very good for the computer audio to be clear. Yeah, and you should have included a few pauses in your speech, because I was always listening and never got a chance even to notice any mistake in your speech. And that's all. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Nithin. That's a wonderful evaluation. I concur with Nithin's evaluation, and I would like to just add a little bit. Try to be a little slow down while you are narrating your subject, because ultimately the clarity and the pause will make the audience understand you very well. Now coming to the third speaker, Toastmaster Sushma, whose evaluator is Toastmaster Anita Rao. Toastmaster Anita, over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Joseph Benedict. So in teaching, you will learn, and in learning, you will teach, said Phil Collins. And I think that profusely describes the way mentor-mentee relationship works. And thank you so much, Toastmaster Sushma, for giving us that wonderful reminder today through your awesome speech. Today, and it's entirely my personal perspective, I'm going to share some things that you did really well and some things you could explore if that's what you want to do. You really started off with a great quote by Ratan Tata, somebody whom we all know, we all respect and admire. So that was great. And then the introduction was followed by a body which had a great mix of what mentorship in general is about, what a mentor-mentee relationship in general is about, and your own personal journey where you paid homage to certain Toastmasters who are present right there in this room. And to cap it all very, very well, you actually concluded by re-emphasizing how for anybody's success, mentor-mentee relationship is such a valuable relationship to have. So 10 on 10 for doing these things really, really well. Some things you could explore doing differently. And in this, I just like to split hairs, so kindly bear with me, and I hope it's okay with you. I feel like when you introduced with a quote, there was this general pattern that you had in throughout the speech where you said, I will now say, I will now tell you, I will now conclude. Now today I will talk about mentorship. That's not required because it's like you're actually taking a lot of space, valuable space, which you could as well use in talking something more valuable. Because if you anyway are going to talk about it, why tell that you will talk about it, right? And also to make your introduction an attention grabber or to catch people's attention, you could also explore having said the quote and then said, does anybody in this room know who said this quote? You would have made the audience be with you. So that audience engagement I felt could have been built. And then I felt like you could have elaborated your experience in terms of, with your mentors a little more, okay? Because I felt like it was a little dryly done, maybe a little more emotional quotient as to how have they helped you become a better or a more successful speaker or leader or just a contributor to this community. That would have been fantastic. And then you said, the tonality part of it, okay? I felt like throughout the speech, it was the same tone, whereas in certain places where you said, I was insecure, you said, I was insecure, so that's how you get the audience to your side. I consider myself fortunate to have had many mentors. I consider myself fortunate to have many mentors. And you know how lucky I am? Some of them are right there in this room. So a lot of emotion in the voice would have really taken the whole speech to a new level. And even while concluding, maybe you could have again concluded with a powerful question that would have left a great mark. Overall, a fantastic speech and a fantastic feeling that everybody's living with, which is, it's so great to be a mentor. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sushma. I look forward to hearing a lot more of you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anita. I concur with your evaluation for Sushma. The one thing I would be adding is that your stage management, you are standing in one place only with only one type of gestures. And depending on your voice modulus and emotions, you could manage the stage very well. That's all. Otherwise, your speech is really great. Now, I would like to call upon the listener, Toastmaster
Shanti. Shanti.
Toastmaster Shanti.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator. So as a listener, I have prepared my questionnaires for everybody to become as a great listener. My first question goes like, how to spend the no shave month savings raised out of not shaving their beard? What was the answer given, or what was the recommendation provided by TM
the cancer awareness.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you so much. And for International Humorous Contest, who in this room is contesting tomorrow?
Toastmaster Rahul.
Wonderful. Yeah. In a day, how many times TM Rahul has fell in love?
8.
Yeah. Okay.
8 times.
Wonderful. Okay. What is the word of the day and who has used it the most?
Profuse.
Profuse.
And who has used it the most?
Nobody.
Table topics.
Mr. Milind.
Oh yeah, Milind, right.
Toastmaster Milind used it.
Great. Yes.
TM Milind.
Okay. According to TM Adarsh, who is the most, which is the most difficult thing all the attendees in this meeting going through? It is more relevant to my role also.
Listening.
Pause.
Listening.
Second option. Anybody wants to try? Okay.
Attention.
Exactly.
Attention.
Exactly. So attention is the most difficult thing all of us are going through, and it is most needed. That's why we are all together. And according to, okay, what should be the most 3 important traits of a mentor?
Confident, supportive, guiding.
Right. Okay. Thank you for that. Which are the animals pointed out by TM Kendall, which will complain most about humankind if they get a chance to speak?
Pet animals, dogs, cat, because they
Yes,
have been.
yes, mention fishes also.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And what is today's speech viewers meeting number? This is applicable for all the new speech viewers.
640. Meeting 640.
Okay.
Meeting number 640. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, last question, but which is the most interesting part of today's speech. What is TM Rahul's wife name?
Pragya.
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 Yeah. So more than Rahul, now we all, remember Pragya's name. Good one. Thank you so much for everybody being so attentive today and making this event so successful. Over to you, Joseph sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shanti, for this very, very important points you have raised during this meeting. And one has to really pay attention for that. Now, I would like to invite our tag team. At first, I would like to invite Toastmaster Surraj for the timings that he has been maintaining. Over to you, Toastmaster Surraj.
So good evening again. Here is the timing of each and every participant here. Toastmaster Rahul Jain, in his speech, he used 6 minutes and 7 seconds. Toastmaster Adarsh was 7 minutes and 36 seconds. Sushma went on to speak for 7 minutes and 49 seconds. Now coming to the table topic speakers, Manish Gupta, was just, about the red limit. He's with 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Toastmaster Kendall from Trinidad, he spoke for 1 minute and 51 seconds. And finally, our Vandana spoke for 2 minutes and 57 seconds, just about to get to the red zone. Okay, now coming to the feedback evaluation session, we had Vinit, who was evaluating Rahul Jain, speak for 2 minutes, 41 seconds. Toastmaster Nithin, who was evaluating Adarsh, evaluated for about 1 minute and 41 seconds. And finally, Anita Rao, who evaluated Sushma, spoke for 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Is there anybody disqualified in this one?
Yeah, so, okay, now we have Sushma, who had an independent speech. She spoke for 7 minutes and 49 seconds. And nobody, and Manish Gupta spoke for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Like 20 seconds above the red mark. And then we had Anita Rao, who did the evaluation session. She spoke for 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Okay, thank you so much, Suraj. Just because this is not
This is my first,
contest,
role as a timer. This is my first role as a timer.
very good.
Please
You have done a very good, yeah, very well done. So, Toastmasters, nothing to worry about, and you will be more expert in the next meeting if you are a timer.
Yes,
thank
definitely.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
So we will overlook this extension of timings because it is not a contest, it is just a more ordinary meeting. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Aakash for giving his report on our counter. Over to you, Toastmaster Aakash. Toastmaster Aakash, are you there?
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'm not able to highlight myself. That's yeah. So I'll share the screen. So I hope everyone can see the logs I have saved. For today's meeting, I would like to mention 4 names for whom I couldn't find any impedance in their speeches. So Joke Master come TMOD come our DTM Milind didn't use any crutch words or anything. Same is for Evaluator 1 Vinit, Speaker 1 Rahul, and Speaker 2 Adarsh. I would like to congratulate all these 4 guys for doing well with their roles. Coming to the total counts, I can see that there were total usage of 17 hours, which I recorded, 5 arms, and there were plentiful usage of so as well. And I have observed a couple of us are using the and as a repetitive word, and also I have noticed from a couple of people who have been using. You can identify yourselves, and I'll give a moment to check your name. So this is the report, our counter report for today, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aakash. It is very clear that whoever has done it, they will be rectifying in their next speech. Now I call upon Toastmaster Mayur, the grammarian. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayur.
Thank you so much, Joseph sir, for inviting me again. Good evening once again, everybody. Meanwhile, Aakash, can you stop sharing?
Yeah, I'm trying to see where it is.
Okay, so I am very much impressed with everyone. They have profoundly used word of the day, which is used by Anita, Milind sir, Nithin, and many other Toastmasters and guests, if I have forgot anybody's name. Thank you for joining. Thank you for using that word. Coming to the good uses in today's meeting, I heard one line from Rahul's speech. A date is not a dialogue; it's a dialogue, not monologue. Also, he used certain pauses, different kind of pauses. He explained about it, so I like that. And one of that is that pause. Adarsh used a word, a good sentence separated by 0 kilometer, a good use of word by him as inevitable, and a recommendation for him as having to run. It's not a good use. Have to run is a good use. He also quoted Mandine and used the word defining. Although some of his words which are not clear to me, most of you are not also not able to hear it properly. If he can slow down a bit or pace down a little bit, then we will be able to understand those words clearly. Coming to the Sushma's speech, she also quoted Ratan Tata and spoke about his mentorship and uses some good words, confident, supportive, and guiding mentor. I would like to recommend whenever she giving a speech, so avoid I will using of I will lot of times in her speech. And I like that Milind sir also use certain good phrases, keeps on hopping, and some good uses of word like outstanding and other various words. All the impromptu speech was good, and the good use of word used by Munish, nuisance, and blessing and disguise. Shanti, you tried a tried very well on the impromptu speeches, but with certain practice, you can be improve your construction of the sentence, and your flow will come definitely. Kendall use. Sorry, I don't what I wrote I don't understand, so forgive me for that. And for Vandana, I would say she is very good speaker if you talk about impromptu speech, but I don't think she used certain number of time. Always she used certain number of time, and when she was saying I was able to, so she, while forming that sentence, so she used that sentence, I was able to compete, then again, I was able to, so what you can do is, I was able to compete, then comma, then those other words. And this is the grammarian report from me. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Mayur. It is a wonderful evaluation of yours. Now, I would like to overall give you a little bit of my report on the meeting, right from starting from SAA. Sushma, Toastmaster Sushma has really spoken very well. She started with good energy, and on time the meeting started, and it is really a great thing. And she introduced the Toastmaster of she introduced the president, Mayur. Mayur has given us a very good, important message. Nowadays, as you know, the health is wealth. So in this case, everybody should have a constant reminder for keeping their health, especially in the COVID pandemic situations, where one has to really take care of their health. And it was a very good cancer awareness where no shaving, and those money has been donated for the patients. That was really great. Coming to the Toastmaster of the day, the Toastmaster DTM Milind, he has shown for the first time our founding father, Ralph Smedley, at the age of 26 years. It seemed very interesting. It was supposed to be also shown the YMCA building, which was not shown actually by, I don't know what is the reason. And also he has given a very great information about Ralph Medley. And the only one word, that sentence which always remembers our founding father is, speak while you are entertained. And the leadership potential is gained during the practice of public speaking in the Toastmaster platform, and also improvement of communication skill. For that only we are here today, because of the founding father who has contributed his life in establishing a Toastmaster International, and we are enjoying it today. Now, coming to the table topic master, the topics are really interested. One thing I would like to suggest is, don't wish anybody and don't say thanks. Straight away, start the table topic. Generally, we do not have table topic clubs. We have table topic evaluations are also there. I would like to suggest those who speak, try to have a little bit of gestures, have a little bit of movement. The one person you might have seen is Vandana. She has totally given all types of gestures and movements and actions and voice modulus, and also the what you call the message that is very important in the impromptu speech. So that has to be practiced, especially for the guest. It may not, it be a little difficult, but here you can go on gaining experience while participating, because table topic session is only mostly for the guest. Well, on the whole, the entire meeting went on very well and very entertaining, and also very much knowledgeable we could able to get from the speakers as well as the impromptu speakers and everyone who participated in it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day and healthy day, I would say. Take care of this pandemic and also the devastating climatic conditions also. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Milind.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for giving a detailed report. So let's give a lot of applause to General Evaluator and the entire tag team, timer, our counter, grammarian, as well as listener. It's time for redemption for me. It seems I missed out what the presiding officer was saying. He was inviting me as a joke master, but I started as a Toastmaster of the day. So I'm concluding with one particular comment, which was between Lord Bernard Shaw and Winston Churchill, because both of them were not in speaking terms. But the anger they should show in their communication. So once George Bernard Shaw wrote to Winston Churchill, I'm enclosing 2 tickets of the first night of my new play. Bring a friend if you have one. That came Winston Churchill's response. Cannot possibly attend the first night. I'll attend the second if there is one. Over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Mayur.
Thank you so much, Milind sir, for taking us through the wonderful theme of the today, speak and to be spoken about. It was a great experience to hearing you out, and it was a great experience learning various things from our today's speakers. I would like to, I had prepared one speech for, so I think this topic is about to be discussed right now, not in the starting. So many of us think that we are unlucky. So how many of you think that you are unlucky? Okay, all are very much motivated. That's great. That's great. So, but in reality, there is just an excuse. The difference between becoming fabulously rich, happy and healthy, or broke, depressed and unhealthy is the choices that we made throughout our life. Nothing else will make the difference. Here is the thing about luck. We are all lucky. If you are on the right side of the dirt, you have your health and a little food in your cupboard, you are incredibly lucky. And I mean it. Everyone has the opportunity to be lucky, because beyond having the basic of health and sustenance, luck simply comes to those down a series of choices we make. According to Richard Branson, he said luck played a very much role in his success. And of course, we are all lucky, he said. If you live in a free society, you are a lucky person. Luck surrounds us every day. We are constantly having lucky things happen to us, whether you recognize it or not. I have not seen any more lucky or unlucky than anyone else. The difference is when luck come my way, I took advantage of it. Whether did you took that advantage or not? Spoke like a man knighted with wisdom, isn't it? While we are on the topic, it's my belief that the old adage we often hear, luck is when the opportunity meet preparation. Correct? So I believe there are two other critical components of luck. So I will give you one formula how can you become a lucky person. So what you have to do is you have to prepare a lot for personal growth. Plus you have to get your attitude, you have to believe in yourself, or you have to create your mindset to achieve those things, whatever you want to achieve. Plus you have to create those opportunity, the things you want to get for your goals. And plus you have to take action by doing those things which are required to achieve for that particular goal, and which becomes make you a lucky person. So this was I was about to going to deliver for today's speech, and I hope by doing this thing you all can become a lucky person. Now I would like to share the link for today to cast your vote for our best speaker, role taker, and auxiliary role takers as well, and the evaluator. I have shared the link in the chat box.
Mayur, you
Meanwhile,
can
I will take feedback from this. If our guests have anybody would like to go. Hi girl, could you tell us where are you joining us from, and do you have any suggestions or feedback? How was your experience today? Estrella? Yeah, anybody can go. Anybody would like to go ahead? Kyle? The votes, what are the results so far? So I'm getting 5-6 responses so far. Meanwhile, we are 14 people inside the meeting room. So I request everybody to cast their vote, and I have one announcement to make. As I have already announced in the group as well, that we will be having a debate competition next Friday. So please brace yourself and prepare for the topic. Well, and which will be announced by tomorrow. Until then, please cast. Okay, that's okay. Great. So let me also vote by myself as well. And anybody else would like to go, can you speak? Meanwhile, I cast my vote as well. Okay, who do you have with us? Stella, Kyle, Candle, you want to speak anything? You want to say anything? Okay. Okay, so we have our result with us for today's best speaker and the role takers. I'm going to announce in a minute. Thank you for giving us your votes. Okay. So the best auxiliary goes to, any guesses? Just people, you can guess at least. If you don't want to speak, don't be shy about it.
Listener.
Okay, you are correct, Sushma. The best auxiliary role goes to Toastmaster Shanti for taking up the listener role. And the best, which one you want now? Okay.
Supporting role taker.
Okay, best supporting role goes to anybody? Any guesses?
Essay Joseph sir. Essay Joseph sir.
Okay, sorry. In essays, Joseph sir is mentioned, but it is Toastmaster Sushma. But it goes to me as a president, and the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Anita. Congratulations to you. Best table topic speaker is none other than Toastmaster Vandana. Many congratulations to you, Vandana. And what I'm forgetting? Best prepared speaker and best role taker, right? So the best role taker goes to Toastmaster of the day, DTM Milind. Congratulations for creating a wonderful theme. We enjoyed very much today. And the best speaker goes to the humorous guy, Toastmaster Rahul. Many congratulations to you as well. Congratulations to all the role taker and speakers for winning the speaker roles and as well. With that, I'm ending the meeting 6:40. Why my pen is not showing today? 6:40. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great
See you.
weekend
Have a
ahead.
nice weekend. See you next